All right, you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we had a game yesterday. Then we had to wake up 8, 9 something this morning, 8 something this morning, and go to Coral Springs and play.
hmm I mean, y'all. Oh, you say y'all won?
Yeah, we
So,
beat.
so where y'all at now? Y'all started
We had
first
third
round
place
of
because
playoffs.
we lost the first game of the season, so it was four other teams that was 9-1 as well. So we had to place for third, fourth, and fifth, 3, 4, 5, and sixth place in the rest of the playoffs. And 1 and 2 was determined already, so we the third seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Well,
play
well, wait.
Hollywood. We play Hollywood. It's come to we lucked out our first playoff game. You know, everybody go to different parts, but our playoff game based off the seed is at home. The
Right.
seed 3 and 6 play home, and we number 3. So, well, 3 and 6 play at Pompano Park rather than we 3. So we'll be home.
Hmm. Because I'm trying to figure, and then man, hey man, motherfucker had to pay down $20 at
What?
that
Not
game.
for the Little League game.
Hell yeah.
Nah, bro, you got whooped, bro. You was robbed.
Yeah, I
You weren't
said.
supposed to charge for Little League, bro.
I said, man, goddamn, $20 ain't.
$20? You lying, Marlon? For one person?
I'm dead serious. I wanted,
Well, you supposed to get a T-shirt or something.
I, I wanted, hey, hang on, I stayed for another game. Shit,
Man, I would have
it
seen
only
all the games for $20 or
for
Lily.
$20. God damn. Shit.
Ah,
Oh,
man, boy, I don't heard it all, boy.
uh,
It ain't even Super Bowl. It be out damn playoff.
mm,
Well, I know they made a killing out there because I know it was packed.
mm.
Damn, $20. They don't
Ah,
even charge that much
ah,
for a high school game. High school game be seven.
and and then $8 for parking.
Oh, so all together, yeah. Still though.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, $8 for parking. So darn, I'm like, goddamn, a high school get no a little league game ran me $28 damn. Uh, and then you can't bring nothing in there. Cause you know I needed me a shot or something.
ain't none of that round unless you go
Hell,
get under
hell
somebody's
no.
tent.
Goddamn. I mean, and then fucking water about to earn damn $2. Yeah, yo, part two. What up?
There we go. Yes,
No,
Marlon said
sir.
he had some questions he wanted to ask.
yeah, cause yeah. Back to when we were talking about the safe, like the safe worker and the reckless worker. Cause one of my favorites, you are Goldberg, and, and he had a bad reputation. But then it's like my argument was always would be like, okay, his character is to go out there, whoop your ass for about 30 seconds and then leave. So
Yeah.
so character wise, he doesn't need to have all this move set.
No, not really. I mean, because his moveset is so limited, technically he should have been the safest worker in the world. Like, dude, I'm literally going out there. Okay, you finna spear me? Okay, jackhammer. That's it? Okay, cool. But don't forget, this dude is also a former professional football player. So,
He gonna be aggressive as hell. That's the thing.
yeah,
Or
especially
even
Yeah,
from him
if
grabbing
he
you
wasn't
around your
training
neck.
long. So I mean, I'd be like back in his prime, I'd be terrified to take a spear from him because it's not
mm.
gonna be no wrestling spear. It's gonna be a legit football tackle. And then I'm just giving him my body. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people complain on how stiff he was.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, well, shit. And then, like I say, based on his character, that should be all he do. So how do you find moves that have fit actually your character instead of just saying, okay, I want to just try this shit for the hell of
uh well for me, I didn't have too much of a hard time. Because I grew up watching wrestling, so I already had my favorites that I knew. Okay, if I ever become a pro wrestler, this is what my move set would look like.
it.
But then because of my amateur background, I adopted a lot of my amateur style into it. So it kind of kept me as a agile, technical guy. So for me, my move sets, I modeled my athleticism. I modeled that after Too Cold Scorpio. And then like my technical prowess along with some of my high flyer agility, I modeled that after Shelton Benjamin and kind of just like meshed all of that together.
Two good people.
So you know, that's where I'll get my, you know, technical stuff, but my ability to, you know, I'll hit you with a head scissors, or you know, I'll come off out the ring with a, you know, sideways corkscrew splash. Like all that I attributed to those two guys, because I felt if I'm going to make a wrestler, that's a move set from those two guys I would mesh together to get me like an awesome championship caliber, you know, creator wrestler. So that's how I based mine off of. And I think it's easy. If you're a real wrestling fan, I think you kind of go into pro wrestling already with the move set, because you already have your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only natural that you are going to want to imitate a lot of your favorites. But the longer you stay in it, that's when you start to mature, and now you know you can kind of tweak your move set, because like, okay, you know, this is what I should be doing because of the character I am. But because he's my favorite, I know I can add this, I can add that. I'll leave that for like one of those big matches where no one sees it coming, but I'll take this. So you kind of just start, you know, putting in your ingredients until you finally get, like I tell my wife, you always want a playbook. So your playbook, you have all these moves. You don't have to hit them all every single time you work a match, but at least, you know, for different, you know, scenarios, situations, match types, you have a move for everything that you can pull out of your playbook.
Yeah, because a perfect example of that, if you go back and watch Stone Cold and The Rock at WrestleMania 17,
One of the best WrestleManias.
He got so desperate, he went back to pulling out the old moves back when he was in when he was the ringmaster, when he was in WCW. He pulled out the $1 Million Dream, and he ain't used that in God knows when. That is like how desperate he is, but it's like, but he still had to remember, like, okay, hey, I still got this move in the pocket. I just don't use it.
Right.
It's still there now.
And right now, in this moment, I'm desperate right now, so I'm gonna pull it out right now.
I could wear him down with this.
And that's the art of storytelling, because, you know, from their perspective, you know, they're also trying to convey to the crowd, like, look, I've fought this dude like 10 different times. Like, he already knows my shit. So if I don't come at him with something different, how am I supposed to beat him? And I like that was the story he was including, which is why, like, we noticed, like, he was pulling out stuff we ain't seen him pull out in a long time.
Years,
but he knew he had it.
Back when you were stunning Steve Austin, WCW,
with the hair,
a whole other person. You had to go. You had to go. The Hollywood one. Yeah. Like, you got so desperate that you had to pull that out to beat him.
Yes,
that added to the match, you know. So
it did. Again, that's an art of storytelling, but also, you know, having that playbook, you know, where again you could have 100 moves in that playbook. It don't mean you got to do 100 moves every night. It just means, like, now, you know, you got some variety, and when your match calls for it, or if the story you're trying to tell calls for it, now you got options instead of looking like a deer in headlights trying to figure out what to do.
Oh man, I think I was at one show and I saw the most stupidest spot I ever saw in my life. I'm like, the guy had to walk. I guess he wanted to do a big suicide dive on everybody, but he had to be on his partner's shoulders. But the crowd, it took so long to get over there. So now the guy basically buckling, holding the guy up, waiting for everybody to get in a spot. the guy literally shaking like, God damn, y'all need to hurry up.
Yeah, bring your motherfucking ass around here.
I'm losing. I'm losing.
Man.
He just gave up and buckled almost tripped over the rope, and then the crowd had to come over and make it look like we gotta catch him. Yeah.
What?
I say, right, okay, that was no powerful right there. That's
man.
It's on YouTube. I gotta find it again. But I said, man, that's why people need to understand. Okay, you want to do the good pop, but like it has to make sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, sometimes less is more. But again, if you already know, like you're not entirely comfortable, and that's why your knees is shaking like that while you're waiting.
Like, they trying to abort the mission.
Yeah, like it's okay. Abort mission, and you can find a way to continue your story if that ain't gonna work. I mean, damn. and shame on his partner. Like, bro, you really gonna slow walk? Like,
Nah, man, listen, I know I'm strong though, but God, listen, y'all need to hurry get over here.
Look here, his partner messed up because if I have you on my shoulders and I can feel your ass shaking, like a damn hoe in church, like I need to hurry up and walk a little faster because he's not about to come crumbling on me.
Right.
I'll throw your ass if I got you.
They turn heel, I'll be on turn on you that night or something.
Listen, we gotta go off.
I have to protect the business, okay?
What are you doing?
Let's play a little game now, because I was thinking, I want to hear wrestlers' mindsets. Bray Wyatt is back.
Okay.
How would you book him? Because it's to the point. I think he's a booker's nightmare. Like,
yeah, that's such a good question. I mean, like, honestly, so what I've been noticing, right, since he's been back, it definitely seems like, they're keeping him on the side of being a face. Now, the thing is, it's Bray Wyatt. How do you book him as a face? Because you can't just book any heel against him. You got to book somebody on the level of Heath Ledger, God rest his soul. But you got to book somebody on the level of Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, like a sick character.
Yeah, like I don't know how you do it. I mean, and I'm all for it. I can't wait to see how they do it. I don't envy the man's job who's got to write that up. But I honestly, I don't know. I mean, that man, the characters he's been able to portray are so intricate and complex.
Right, yeah.
It's like just booking him as a heel was one thing, but now, I mean, he's a face. He's a face. People want to see him, but how do you book him? Granted, his matches are going to be easier now, right? Because as Bray Wyatt, the man, you can hurt him. He can take bumps. But, when he was Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, like how does that character work his matches to where, he's supposed to get hurt enough to take a 3 count? You know what I'm saying?
They had him too strong.
Yeah, and
right.
Then,
almost like Michael Myers, Jason type.
Yeah, and then it's like with the roster, like, goddamn, okay, I mean, how can you build me up to even be on a level of him? Like, okay. And then it's like, okay, if we book him to lose, it's gonna fuck his character up.
Yep.
But then if he wins, it's already like, okay, we fucking somebody. Yeah, like it's because the thing, even when the Undertaker first showed up, even though, okay, if somebody did beat him, it was a big deal. And you was able to like say, okay, he out Undertaker. But with Bray Wyatt, it's like, okay, what do we do here? Like,
they had Undertaker losing by disqualification.
It's a problem, but then he loses.
Yeah, I mean, again, I definitely feel like they've got a better room to play with now. Because if you're just booking Bray Wyatt as the man, you got you got a lot you can do. But it's absolutely important that whoever he has his first match against, like, you have to believe that this dude is like Lex Luthor. Like, this got to be a guy. If he beats Bray, you can believe it. Like, oh yeah, like that's a bad
bad
dude to
person.
beat Bray.
Yeah,
But
but then
who
it's
do you
like,
get? Who do you get from that roster right now to
yeah,
do that?
The only
and then even if you beat him, like, okay, where did he go? Is that in his character now that we beat him?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go from now?
Now this will
So
look good
that
to me. I don't know
mhm.
how it'll be presentable or if it'll be realistic, but the only thing I can see is if the demon came out, Finn Balor. That's the only thing
Oh, they
with him
killed the
as the
demon.
demon.
They
That's what I'm
killed the
saying. He don't
demon. They
lost
killed the
already.
demon.
So it's like,
Man, I don't know who they could bring in that could be believable, but I would take a guess, especially because he's been off TV for so long. If they were to bring his brother in to be, his antagonist, I think that would make
Bo
a good
Dallas.
storyline.
Bo Dallas.
Yeah, Bo Dallas, because you could bring him up and he would have plenty of reason to have all kinds of, resentment against them,
animosity and other
because
stuff.
think about it, Bray made it while Bo, they floundered, his booking, and it was just hard to get behind them. But now it's like, oh, so y'all fired Bray and brought him back, and what am I? I'm just chopped liver? Like, no. Okay, cool. I see why I love Bray. Well, guess what? I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna be nastier, and I'm coming for Bray. Now, if that's how they do it, I mean, I hope they can pull it off. But I could believe a dark version of Bo Dallas to be like who they put him against. Granted, I hope they change their name, Bo Dallas.
Right, they
but
will have to.
Yeah.
But I think having his brother in would probably make for like that believability. But I don't know who else I could think of that in that locker room like right now who could live up to that kind of storyline with Bray.
Yeah,
Well, when you said the Zillions though,
no, it's one person, but we don't want to see it. But it's Roman.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And
I just
I
feel like
love
it's a
Roman. Don't get me
mismatch
wrong.
right now.
Yeah, Roman. He knocking it out the park right now. But
Mm-hmm.
like, goddamn, man, it's so now we don't believe nobody's gonna be Roman.
But do you want to see anyone beat Roman? Because
Nah.
I'm gonna tell you now, uh, especially when it comes to a championship belt, right? When you include a championship belt to a wrestler, you're either using that title, right, to help get that wrestler over, or that wrestler is there to help get the title over to establish it. Man, Roman is doing such a great, phenomenal job now with
Yeah.
everything, mic work, ring work, his subtleties. He has brought nothing but credibility to both of those belts. So now, like anyone to hold it after him, like the belts are a big deal now. If they weren't already a
I
big
agree.
deal,
Mhm.
I just don't like right now. I'm having too much fun seeing him in the light that he's in. I don't want to see him lose the
Me
titles
neither.
anytime soon. And if
He
he
got a lot of
does,
charisma, man. It's there.
yeah.
And they've been trying for the longest with him, and he finally got it. But to this day, my favorite promo was when I knew he had it was the date and the night after he beat Undertaker. He stood in that ring like for almost 5-8 minutes just to say, "This is my yard now." Man, you heard that? He literally worked that crowd for like all that time just to say that one line, and that heat, and that brought hella heat back to him. I'm like, there you go. Like who you else know that can just right now can just stand there, take every bad comment from the audience, and just to say that.
Man,
Once again, less is best. But to speak on
Yeah.
that Bray Wyatt and Bo issue, that could be the modernized Kane and Undertaker, man, if they play that right as well. And because they can go against each other and then come as a tag team. And still be Marlon, what we were talking about with the tag team conversation, then still be able to see, you can see them in singles action and then come together and tag team every once in a while.
Yeah. And then Reggie, okay, this is what I was telling him about tag team wrestling. You got pure tag teams and actually good tag team. My comment was a good tag team, a pure tag team is just just me and you together, and we cannot. We can't find our way by ourselves. We go singles, it's not gonna work. But as long as we're a team, we good. I say a great tag team. Oh, you can go be singles. I can be singles, and we can still get back together and be a tag team and still.
Oh yeah,
that's what I feel. So who do you feel like? Who do you think is the great tag teams out there? Like
great tag teams out
there. Indie too.
I definitely.
It's about the internet plugging bad. Somebody got a bad connection. I don't know if I could be heard or not.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Jenny can too, but I would love to see more of that on TV. So they're my honorable mention. I'll put them in that category.
Okay.
And then the New Day. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk. If you don't mention the New Day. I mean, two out of the three, was world champions. So that right there speaks for itself. What they can do individually. I wanted so bad to see Xavier Woods
get that little shine.
Yeah, and
we don't. People, it's so hard to forget. Listen, go watch his TNA work.
Right. Yeah,
completely different person. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I thought they were there, like about this close whenever they did the King of the Ring, and he won. And I just feel like, they really didn't give him much after that. But I was definitely waiting to see it because it's like, well, I've seen him work as an individual superstar.
Right.
So I know what he can do. I just wanted to finally see that on WWE TV so that everybody else who wasn't, privy to it before, now they can see it now. And I just feel like they dropped the ball on his push. I would say tag teams that work really well as a tag team, but they work just as good as individual superstars.
Yeah.
So I was saying the New Day, Kofi and Big E, we've seen them do their work obviously as champions. But I'm mad that they keep slipping up on Xavier because
man,
I know if they give him that
man.
push, that singles push,
I definitely
he's gonna knock it out the park.
I definitely agree.
That's because he money on the mic,
Yes.
And he's very marketable, yeah.
Marketable. And then, like I was showing my nephew, because he's a big New Day fan.
Apollo Creed too.
Apollo Creed.
But yeah, Creed was Apollo Creed.
I had to show him, like, look, Xavier Woods, but let me show you some old stuff from him. Yeah, and that's Xavier. Yeah, I'm like, this is
Consequences Creed.
Consequences Creed. Yeah, this is the real. No, not Xavier Woods. I mean, like, you gotta understand, like, TNA really showcase what he can do. WWE watered him down. So, and he like, God, he was doing all this. He was like, but we just know, we just gonna know Xavier Woods. Right now we not gonna know Consequences Creed.
Right.
Cause matter of fact, I would say that back at Say a Lot event, Snoop Strikes. I had to tell him, like, look, I don't know Snoop Strikes, but I know damn. What's that he go by?
I know he does the OAO.
Not Snoop, it's
OAO,
not
Clarence.
Coco Brazil.
From MLW. Yeah.
He was in the ring and he looked at me like, bro, I'm like, I don't know Snoop Strike, I know Coco Brazil. And I know different names is like you wrestle different from depending on the name. So it's like a different personality. Like every personality holds a different mindset, wrestling mindset.
Yeah, Very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if at the time, the promotion you're working for is wanting something different from you. So, they change
Right.
your name and they'll be like, hey, we need you to do this. So yeah, I could definitely believe it. Damn man, I can't get over like I need for them to understand what they got with Xavier. Because Big E done had his shine, Kofi done had his shine. They done showed everybody, like, man, here's what we're capable of when y'all was sleeping on us. But now y'all know.
Yeah.
Now I just need for them to give Xavier that opportunity to do the same thing. Because guess what? He can do it too. That man can shine.
And I like him to do it as a heel too.
Oh,
that's what'll be good. And you know what? If he turned heel and they gave him a good heel run, I like him to give Roman Reigns a run for his money too.
Ooh, that's different.
It's
I
deep,
like
right?
it. I like
he
it.
could do it like hell.
Because he got the facial expressions to pull it off with the hand out, like just to be red, like, man, fuck, like just like snap. Like, I'm sick of this.
I believe
he was the mouthpiece basically when there was a heel anyway. Like he was really that heel magnet anyway. So there you go. Yeah. So I mean,
I would love to see that.
And Reggie, we really don't brag on our show like that, but somebody probably be listening to our show. I hope they hear that, man.
yeah, but isn't that the thing? Like now it's like nobody don't like in a business, like everybody has to lose.
Yeah, man.
But then nobody wants to lose. Like, hell no, I'm not losing to him. No, I'm not losing to him. Like, y'all do realize somebody has to lose.
Yeah, me and Marlon talked about that. Where everybody like so concerned about their brand now instead of, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's the art. That's a part of the art.
Yeah, and then even when you said
it is.
Yeah, when you said okay, oh, it's like okay, like Reggie, right now you get signed. You thinking this is the big thing for you? I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. I done got signed, but now, okay, you done came. Okay, we want you to do like a gold dust type of character. I'm like, well, goddamn, what? Why can't you just do what got me signed?
Right.
now they want you. Now they want you to be like the Black Gold Dust, and you like, that ain't what got me signed. But if you fail at it, okay, now you couldn't connect now. So, like, I mean, like being a wrestler, like, okay, if somebody just say, okay, look, I like you, but I don't want you to do. You got to change your character.
How you feel about that?
Personally, I feel like it's all again, it's all part of the business. Like, I get it. Like being Reggie Rythm got me to the dance, right? But if I'm now in the company of people who I've always wanted to work with and people who's got years and years of experience, and are saying, hey, let's try this character for you. It's my job, whether or not I'm like, well, that shit is weird. I would never do that. But at the end of the day, it is storytelling. It's a physical, fictitious storytelling. And with that being said, if that's what they give me, okay, cool. Now it's my job to do the very best that I can do with that character to get it over. And if I can't get it over, then that's all that's saying is that one, I'm being difficult to work with, right? Because again, it's like being a movie star. Everybody wants to be an action star, but what happens if a studio that signs you onto a deal isn't doing an action film? What if they're doing a romantic comedy and that's what they want for you? Right. Are you just gonna say, oh no, man, I'm all action. That's what I wanted. I don't want to be no romantic lovey-dovey. But dude, you got to be able to show your depth. Like, what else can you give me? And I mean, for me personally, I it's not something that would hinder me, because if I can excel at that, one, I just showed you, y'all could throw anything at me and I'm gonna turn that thing into gold. And two, I'm not gonna be wrestling forever. What if I want to, try my luck out in Hollywood? What if I do want to, see how I am in acting? I gotta have a portfolio that shows my levels, you know, like I can
They
do
do
this,
got
I
a
can
studio.
comedy, you know, comedy, horror, whatever have you, but you don't want to be one dimensional.
Right.
And a lot of people in wrestling, they get stuck being one dimensional because they feel like, well, this is me and that's all I'm ever gonna be. And it's like, it's great, you know, that got you to the dance. But just like in real life, you go to a job interview, right? What got your foot in that door? It was the suit, the tie. You know, you spoke real well. Your resume is immaculate, right? But now oh great, that got you to the dance. Now you're a job 2-3 years later. You know what I'm saying? You got to be flexible. You know, you got to be able to show the company your worth. And sometimes, yeah, you got to do something you probably wouldn't want to do right off the bat, but you want to show that company your worth, because guess what? If you don't want to do it, they're gonna find somebody else who's gonna want to do it and probably do it even better.
Yeah, I know, and he gonna do it just as quick.
Yeah. So
he been waiting.
I had that concept as a part of as an excuse to why, but you breaking it down like that and it's so detailed and well. I mean, it only makes sense to do that. Like you said, it broadens your horizon, it builds up your portfolio. Then too, shoot, you looking at it compared to music, is that giving an artist advance on money? It's up to you to make the project work. I gave you the money, but with the wrestling, the TV is the platform and the money. Like I'm giving you spotlight, make this character work. You know, so and when you break it down like that, it do make sense, you know. But at the end of the day, I still like agree with Marlon's side too, as far as like if I don't do as well, don't just shelf me. Like let's find something that works, because you got me here based off, you know what I'm saying? You got me here based off that. Don't shelf me. You know, you know,
because you also, you know, you have to look at your talent as like, yo, he legitimately tried and it just wasn't a good match. Cool, let's find something else. Now, if you do have that talent that's like, man, nah, fuck off, I don't want to do that, then that's something completely different. Now you know, like, wow, he is probably gonna be a problem. But when you have the ones who like are literally giving it their best and it's just not working out, yeah, you never want to just shelf them, because there is still that potential there, because they just did everything you asked of them, like everything, and it just didn't connect. That's fine. You know, wrestling fans, it's a very hard group to always grab their attention and to always please them. Very hard group. So yeah, I definitely agree. If it ain't working out, but you know that talent tried, you never want to just dump them, man, because I'm telling you, that'll be the same talent that probably come through down the road when you are desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just seen a shoot because one of my favorite managers, the guy that used to manage Umaga, Armando Estrada.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he was killing it on the mic. They told him, hey, you getting over. That ain't what we want you to do. And he had to shut up. Yep. And he was like, I mean, they hired me because I got over. Then I got too over. And then they told me, no, don't say nothing.
He was great on the mic, and for that culture, that was good. They should have kept him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then now they saying, okay, he not over now because he just sitting there being quiet, so he no useful. So he was confused.
That's exactly the point that's the point I was trying to make. That's the exact point. Like, you know,
like he got fired for doing his job.
Yeah. And you know what? Like dudes like that, it's so crazy, because when you know, you think about guys like that and you compare them to where wrestling is now, you're just like, damn, like Armando was ahead of his time.
Yes.
No wonder there was just such a disconnect there. Because if he was on now, he'd be killing it.
They'll be loving it. Right. He'll be on Instagram. He'd be going like, he talk big shit. Big shit.
Yeah. But like I said, he said, yeah, man, I'm one of the few people that got fired for doing my job. And then if he didn't get over, he was going to get fired. So you got fired for doing good.
Yeah. Yep. And it's also the you know, the leadership that they had back in that time too. You know, that leadership probably could have done a lot better by him. But you know, their mindset was, oh, get rid of him. we'll find somebody else, or better yet, he don't need a manager. How about that? But you know, that's the wrong way to do it. I'm happy now, like WWE does have that avenue where, man, if it's not working here, okay, before we just give up, let's let him go back down to NXT or send him to NXT.
Oh God!
And see if they can catch fire.
In NXT, they really shine.
They do.
And then you get called, you get called up and get demoted to the main roster.
Yeah, they call you up to the main roster. You was like,
I'm like, God damn, this is demotion. Like, God damn, like I can imagine them like, hey, guess what? We getting you called the main roster, and then like, no, I don't want to go to the main roster. No.
Marlon, you're gonna be on SmackDown Friday. You like, fuck, man. Damn, what I
do?
What did I do?
No, I don't want that.
That's so funny. Like I have friends now, they be like, man, I can't wait to see you on NXT, man. Like, don't go to WWE. And I'll be like, you know, NXT is WWE, but I understand what you're saying. Right. I get it.
Yeah, we gonna show. Yeah, you on NXT, you killing it, and then the next week they got you as somebody a little butler or something. I'm like, oh God damn, not Reggie, man. God damn, he need to go back.
Hey, but you put in them dudes though, because sometimes that's what you got to do to show face in order to get where you need to be. That's your lane. Anything that you master and try to perfect, those are obstacles that you was talking about. You know, it's considered an obstacle to certain people.
Because what's not remember, man, you got to remember, Batista, he was Devon Dudley little do boy at one point. And now right now we don't forgot about that. But yeah, he was
Big E with what your boy name?
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. They was little do boys for him. So
and now look at him.
We was talking about Virgil too, Reggie, how good he was, and they just made him into a straight butler for Ted DiBiase.
And that's all people remember him as.
Yeah.
Which sucks, you know what I mean? Because he's already up there in age. But if anyone deserves like a resurrection, you know, so that they can leave their legacy with something more positive, it would be him. You know, bring him in as somebody's mouthpiece, you know, or you know, bring him in to help somebody get over as a heel or something.
Like a mentor, yeah. Like a mentor, because I showed him the video of him. It was like, nah, that wasn't Virgil. I'm like, man, listen, when he was Soul Train Jones, completely different person. But now it's like all we remember him as $1 Million Man Do Boy.
Yep. Yeah. And that's all they gave him when he was on TV. So that's all people remember
he just stood there.
As.
Yeah, he just stood there.
Yep.
Shoot, man, we running down to another minute of this, Reggie. We want to give you flowers again, bro. Thank you for coming on the show. This is part 2. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do this because I know you be really busy, bro.
I know, but you
gotta of the world.
You gotta keep us posted, like shows and all that, and you know we coming through. Like when it's
most
I'm gonna share the hell out. Yeah, I'm gonna share the hell out.
I know we got something local, especially, you know, regarding this belt. I'm definitely gonna post it. I'm gonna tag you guys so you guys can see it for yourselves and repost it too.
Yes.
I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the support too, because you know it. Anytime we can get the culture to support one another, man, it's uplifting, dude. It's really uplifting. I appreciate it.
Hey, and then too, anybody that's watching this video, which I know y'all understand and see this in the flesh, when you put your mindset to it, sometimes you got to speak it into existence and just get up every day and work towards that goal, and you will definitely accomplish it.